Hello.
Today we're going to talk about Stanley Meyer and his water-powered car.
Which none of us understand.
No.
We were talking about it off air, weren't we? It's amazing cars, aren't they? How they go.
Yeah.
Little tiny explosions.
Yes, it's a controlled, continuous explosion.
Can't argue,
It's just
can you?
constantly going. But it's
I'm amazed more cars just don't explode.
It's weird, don't it? I drive all day and you just take it for... That's my job for the listener, if you're new. I'm a driver. You never consider it. You just don't... It's just a machine that goes, but like there's literally explosions propelling me along.
Yeah.
It's mad.
That's crazy. But what if you could do it just using water?
Well...
And what if you could make it from New York to Los Angeles with only 8 pints of water?
Well, the entire geopolitical, economic fucking balance of the world would be completely thrown into fucking chaos, wouldn't it?
It would.
And there'd be no water.
And there'd also be no water.
The oceans are pretty big. Then we'd have to work out how to filter the...
Yeah. Well, you can desalinate.
Can you turn salt water into drinking
You have
water?
desalinating plants, yeah.
Shit.
It's a long, expensive process, though.
But that would get better with time, wouldn't it?
True.
We're going to have to resort to that, aren't we, eventually?
Eventually. Because
Yeah, there's loads of ocean.
Can you boil
Loads,
salt
yeah.
water and make it drinkable,
Yeah.
or is it? You can boil salt water.
I imagine so.
I'd have thought so. You'd have a sip and go, oh god, that's awful.
What you do, you'd have it condensing, wouldn't you,
Yeah.
into another...
Well, Mike, as our resident science
would remain at the
officer,
bottom of the...
you're going to be working overtime on this episode, boy, because I don't understand shit. Hydrogen molecule, this molecule, what the fucking fuck?
Let me just say, I only got the science thing at a default because I did the best at school. Three of us.
You've got a B in physics, Mike.
I got 2 D's in science,
And
mate.
I got a C.
Wasn't there
GCSE
2
level?
bits to science?
What did I get? 2 B's. But me and you did it weird because it was like chemistry, physics, biology, and they gave us the 2 best.
Right.
So they never actually told us what we got it in.
Right.
It was a double award. It was called. So I got 2 B's, so it could have been in biology and chemistry.
You got 2 B's? Well, you should be the science officer then. I only got B's.
You got to be in physics, which is the hard one. I never got physics.
I got 2 D's. I got a U in maths.
Oh.
But 2 A's in English, baby.
Hey, brilliant.
Yeah.
And an A in art.
I didn't do art.
And an A in drama.
Didn't do
Who would have
drama.
known it?
So they can't see your flick.
Oh,
guys.
sorry, I just did a dramatic pose.
This is a strictly audio only format. Your visual arts are wasted on the listener, which may be that you haven't found your medium yet.
Oh, well, I think this is my medium, to be honest, podcasting.
Yeah.
Right then.
Well, let's thank some new returning listeners. And just to say, follow us on Facebook at Cutting to the Bull in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. YouTube is Apocalypse Bull. And SoundCloud, Spotify and all the other places you get your podcast from is Cutting to the Bull in the PTA.
Yeah, man.
Alright, let's start with Prague in the Czech Republic. Tower Hamlets in London, charming area.
I'm just surprised whoever listened stopped stabbing someone long enough to fucking listen to a podcast.
Well, they have it on while they're stabbing. They're chuckling away as they stab somebody.
Stabbing is going to be an Olympic sport soon,
Oh.
and Britain will excel.
Yeah.
Almaty, where's that, Mike? Is that
I
Kazakhstan?
believe it is, yeah.
Wow.
What's the one below it, Ben?
Chuen Mun, I think that's like
What flag's that?
That's
mate?
Hong Kong, that is.
Hong Kong. I was in Malaysia. I could be wrong.
No,
That's
Hong
too
Kong.
new.
Hong Kong.
That's
Are you
too
checking?
I'm checking checking Almaty, I'm not sure.
Normally, if you're a new listener, Mike is like expert on
Flags.
flags,
He's
man.
a
He
flag
knows-
man.
I don't know any flags, but they're two brand new bad boys, aren't
Yeah,
they?
Almaty, yeah, Kazakhstan.
I'm
That's right.
thinking Chuen Mun is Malaysia.
No, that's Hong Kong.
Kazakhstan.
Hong
I'm
Kong
glad.
has the Chinese flag then.
That's a Hong Kong flag.
Well, I'm glad whoever stopped shagging their sister long enough to listen.
Oh, they've stopped listening.
Yep, Tuen Mun is in Hong Kong.
Oh, okay, stand corrected.
That is where Borat's from, though, isn't it?
It is.
Kazakhstan.
Yep.
Glenbury in America, Frankfurt am Main in Germany, Dnipro in the Ukraine, Espoo in Finland, Eskimo poo in Finland. Oh, they're not listening no more. Gillingham in the UK, Ogden in the US, Brussels, Belgium, Bristol in the UK, Chicago in the US, New Braunfels, is that in the US, Guadalajara, Spain, Sydney in Australia, Lakeland, Greenville, and Des Moines.
We're very popular in Des Moines this month.
Very popular in the US this month.
They usually
growing Australian fan base.
To be fair, US usually comes up top in our listens by country.
That's true.
By country mile, yeah.
Bless you, crazy bastard. What are we on about this week?
Stanley Meyer and the water-powered car.
Oh yeah, I think
You
we
picked
already
this,
said
you
that.
should know.
Oh yeah. Oh, hello. It's been a long week.
So, was the inventor's death murder or a cruel twist of fate? So let's get back. Let's start at the end and then we'll work our way back.
Okay.
Sat down at an Ohio Cracker Barrel restaurant with his brother and two potential investors in his revolutionary water-powered engine, Stanley Meyer took a slug of cranberry juice and immediately rose to his feet, his hands clutching his neck.
That'll do that to you. It's fucking disgusting.
I've also heard he was drinking water.
I don't mind cranberry juice.
Really? Oh no.
Don't mind. I wouldn't choose it, but don't hate it. Because isn't it weird that apparently it was like some business meeting and they did a toast, and straight away it's weird to do a toast with cranberry juice.
I don't know.
That's what I saw one of his mates saying on a video I watched.
Well, they didn't clink glasses, did they?
They did not.
Because the other guy would have been poisoned as well. That's where it comes from. Clinking glasses.
Oh, it's brilliant.
So both your drinks go into each other's drink, so it shows you're not poisoning one another.
Okay.
So you're saying he wasn't murdered?
No, I'm saying they didn't clink glasses.
Yeah, so maybe he was murdered.
Maybe he was murdered.
Yeah. The 57-year-old inventor rushed out into the parking lot, vomiting violently, collapsed to the floor and gasped, "They poisoned me."
Now this is on his death certificate, I believe, from the video I was watching earlier.
I've heard that it could have well been high blood pressure bringing on an aneurysm.
Sorry, not death certificate. The police report. This is what I witnessed. Because how would we know that's what he said?
The day was 21st of March 1998 and it took 3 months of police investigation led by Detective Steve Robinette to determine Meyer's death was a result of a cerebral aneurysm. The toxicology test carried out by the Franklin County coroner indicating no significant results. But you are right, "they poisoned me" is pretty much universally agreed upon in this. That was his last words. But it is his brother saying that.
Yeah, okay.
His brother's the one that rushed out with him. His brother Stephen, who was at the table along with two Belgian investors interested in buying into Meyer's concept for free energy, was far from convinced from the coroner's findings. The only drugs detected in Meyer's body were pain relievers, lidocaine and fentanyl used for seizure treatment, which he was taking due to previous episodes of hypertension, possibly caused by the attention his revolutionary research was attracting from a host of mysterious strangers who allegedly include corporate and government espionage agents.
Hypertension, that's high blood pressure, isn't it?
Yeah. And a cerebral aneurysm tends to give you a massive pain in the side of your neck.
Right.
Just before it hits.
Did he have the same pain?
Yes, he went out clutching his neck.
But could poisoning also give you pain in the neck?
Well, this is the debate.
Because like we said just before we started, although these are the symptoms of like someone dying from high blood pressure and the resulting things, it still doesn't mean you weren't. Just because you had high blood pressure doesn't mean you weren't poisoned.
No, this is true.
Like, I'm probably not in very good health at all, but you could still stab me and kill me, do an autopsy to say, his blood pressure was through the roof.
It's true. Yeah.
No, I'm just saying.
And I guess with poisons, do you have to know what you're looking for?
Well,
Ooh, that's a good point.
another poison. Well, they do a toxicology. It'll be in the bloodstream.
But if it's not something you're...
But then an argument was made that the Belgians who he was with Belgium may have developed some poison that filters its way out of the bloodstream after death. To which I don't think is true. I think if anyone's got them poisons, the Americans have got them, and they know what they were.
Not the bloody Belgians.
Your corpse just sort of farts it out.
It's what it's gonna. Yeah, it must be. Yeah, just in that death fart you make, and when you excrete yourself, it all just floods out.
Well, back in the day when I used to actually read books like novels, I read the Silence of the Lambs trilogy.
Oh, they're great books.
Well, like he does mention in there, and a little 14-year-old me was like, "What?" That you have something called a death erection.
Yes, when he hangs the Italian policeman off the Piazza del something or other. Yeah, you do. Yeah,
and he gets a death erection.
Oh,
I don't know why that relates to high blood pressure and this, or what made me think of that, but erections.
Well, a little macabre fact: female necrophiles.
Oh God!
Will use that death erection.
They cannot be very common.
It's known that they are a thing because a rigor mortis kicks in if you got a death erection.
I think my point is, I think there's a lot more men that shag corpses.
Yeah, there probably are. Yeah. But yeah, I can't remember. It's called the Angel's Kiss or something like that. They refer to it as it's the Angel something. Yeah, can't remember off the top of my head, but it's something creepy.
I might get more lucky when I'm dead than when I've been alive.
Imagine the irony. Some super fit morgue person just rides you into another dimension and you're fucking dead. She's a 10 out of 10.
Just my fucking luck.
Could have been a model, but she went with the fucking Undertakers.
Oh man, you just watching there as a spirit, just go, man.
Oh. No, that's even more tragic. Not being a spirit, you have no knowledge of it.
Oh yeah.
Just your empty carcass. Ah well. A shag's a shag, right?
It all counts.
She puts a notch on your fucking...
Well, the day after his tragic death, his brother contacted the Belgians to inform them of the terrible outcome of the previous day's events.
Why didn't they notice they were sat at the table?
Yeah, well, his brother's not 100% accurate on certain things.
I'm sorry, but Stanley's dead. Yeah, no, I was there. He clutched his throat and said, I'm
poisoned. I think he was taken to hospital. I don't think they would... He was pronounced DOA at the hospital.
Oh, was he?
But whether they have seen him die, so I guess it does make it. His brother, not 100% reliable. I told them Sarah died and he's never said a word, his brother recalled. Absolutely nothing, no condolences, no questions.
That's just because they're Belgian.
They're very emotionless people. It's just chips and paedophilia with them.
Famously rude.
My brother's dead. Oh, right.
Oh.
Just hung up.
Yeah, well, comme ci, comme ça.
Yeah.
Although the Belgian guy, I had an interview, a reporting of an interview with him, and there's a rumour they were NATO generals.
So you're going to say naked then?
Well. But they weren't. This Belgian guy was like his biggest investor.
Because that's part of the... I suppose you might be jumping ahead slightly, but some people say that, like, yeah, these guys, they weren't government agents, they were just people who he'd spunked their money away and they were very upset.
Yes.
So they may have killed him for that.
There is talk that this one guy gave him $300,000 in, which is like $700,000 today, and was kind of like, I also paid his bills last month, why would I kill him?
Because he didn't give you the goods.
You know, he's like, he paid the guy's like bills last month, and he says, "Why would I kill him at our dinner when I paid his bills last month?"
Doesn't make any sense, does it?
No. So his brother,
he's blaming the Belgians.
He's blaming the Belgians. While the Grove City, Ohio police investigation included recorded interviews with more than a dozen witnesses, those of the two Belgians, Philip van der Meutel and Mark van Craniest, were missing. According to Robinette, it was possible they were not recorded, and without proof of foul play, the investigation ended in accordance with the coroner's report. But while there is no concrete evidence to suggest there was anything untoward about Meyer's death, there's no doubt it was a cruel twist of fate that effectively robbed the world of an incredibly cheap potential source of energy, allegedly. Although most reports on the case refer to the Belgians as being investors, strangely Meyer's autopsy report refers to them as NATO officials. Yeah, it does say that on the autopsy report. Why it would say that on the autopsy report, I don't know. It's an odd thing to put in.
Were they interviewed?
They were not in. Well, they might have been interviewed, but no one knows.
Because obviously, if a bloke drops dead outside a restaurant, the police are going to turn up, aren't they? And interview, ask questions, normal questions.
If they are high-ranking NATO officials, maybe they don't want their interviews recorded.
Would they have said, I'm actually a high-ranking NATO official?
Well, I think you might get some kind of diplomatic immunity in that scenario.
Diplomatic immunity. It's just been revoked.
Yeah.
Come on.
But at the same time, someone's just died at their dinner.
Doesn't matter, does it?
I'll be honest, if I'm out to a meal with anyone and someone drops dead, I am looking to make a quick exit, even though I'm completely innocent. I just can't, I don't want that shit.
I was enjoying my chicken nuggets and fries.
Once you give a statement, then you might be caught. You might end up in court and get, oh fuck! Like, I'd be honestly diving out a bathroom window, like fuck it.
We saw a long-haired man fleeing the scene immediately after the death.
Did you poison him? No, I just ain't talking to you, cunts.
If you're a NATO official, I would have let you go.
And my badge dropped out my pocket as I'm like worming my way through a little window. Do you carry a badge if you're a NATO official?
I guess you could have some kind of ID
NATO
on you,
official?
haven't you?
You would, yeah.
If you're a Belgian general, and God knows why we've got Belgian generals in NATO, a country that's never done anything militarily.
Point is, somebody official put that on the... Whoever wrote that report, excuse me...
The coroner.
Coroner was told that by someone.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did that come from
possibly
the
his brother?
Possibly the brother, or is it the policeman's report?
No, it would have been the police, wouldn't it?
Well, yeah, but the police are taking witnesses. They go to his brother. You saw him die. Who are you having lunch with? Two NATO officials. They were here to buy our water technology. Because it's like
that's just as plausible. It is.
When they found they could run tanks on water.
But they would, like you say, they would have surely interviewed them, and it does say they possibly did interview them.
But they maybe did interview them,
but didn't record the interview. Then they would have shown their ID.
True, but at the same
the
time,
police would have known that they're NATO officials. I don't know.
I suppose if you're a NATO official at a lunch with someone who dies, and the police turn up, you're going to whip them badges out, aren't you, real quick? Like, look, we're dodgy, we're NATO people, let's go.
But then how reliable is this autopsy report?
Who was the witness?
Is it legit or is it faked?
Plus, we know what small town. We know that each little town in America is a law unto itself.
Oh God, yeah.
With the local DA and they're all, I'm going to take it to the DA.
Well, one further twist to the meal that day was what the participants chose cranberry juice to toast the development of a research centre. Van der Mutter was planning to establish after finalising the purchase of a plot of land in Grove City. But he's the guy that says, hey, I paid his bills last month, why would I kill him? I paid for this guy to live, so he can pump every bit of money he's got into this water engine.
But then, if it became apparent during the weeks leading up to this meal that he'd absolutely fucked you over and just completely frauded you out of that money, that's a nice alibi. Oh, why would I kill him? I've just paid his bills. Yeah, but maybe you killed him because you paid his bills.
Well, I mean, you've given him, let's say, $700,000, which is a fucking lot of money, let's face it.
Yeah.
And he's got nothing, and he wanted you to see it, because he knows he's got nothing. This guy strikes me as a Harry Death Ray Matthews, going back to one of our earlier episodes.
There is an element of I know the actual secrets, or to explain to me how it works, well, I can't.
Yeah.
Because then you'll have the secrets.
Yeah.
Just trust me and give me your money.
Yeah.
We've come for a demonstration. Oh, you couldn't possibly have one of them today. I just had a heavy meal last night at the restaurant and I'm feeling lethargic.
I ate a big bowl of chilli.
Yeah.
Didn't Alex Jones use that as an excuse?
Something like that, yeah. So, one factor becomes apparent if you research possible causes of poisoning is that ethylene glycol, better known as radiator fluid, is one of the least detectable methods of carrying this out. The fluid is colourless, odourless and slightly sweet to the taste and is capable of killing a person in about an hour and will go undetected by a routine autopsy. a lethal dose of the liquid being as little as 100 millilitres for a 70 kilogram adult.
If that's true, wasn't there like an epidemic of radiated fluid poisonings? Or maybe there is, and it just doesn't get reported because they can't detect it.
Maybe everyone's having cerebral aneurysms instead. Given that Meyer seems to have suffered many of these symptoms and the cause of death was eventually determined to be a cerebral aneurysm, it would not require a huge stretch of the imagination to conclude that the Franklin County coroner's routine autopsy report simply failed to detect the presence of ethylene glycol. Where that radiator fluid could have come from is anyone's guess, but if it had to be found to be present in Meyer's cranberry juice, there could have been only one conclusion. Someone had poisoned. But this is arguing over hypotheticals, isn't it?
Yeah. But we wouldn't be arguing if he hadn't have potentially invented something monumental.
So why would anyone want to do that? Perhaps the answer to that question could have something to do with the implications Meyer's groundbreaking research, quotes, I'm going to add the quotes in, could have had on the oil industry. Meyer, born on the 24th of August 1940, was a prolific inventor, instrumental in almost 200,000 patent applications during his lifetime that included revolutionary ideas for everything from electronic banking to heart monitors.
Why was he broke then?
Because none of these patents ever took off.
Never worked, you mean?
Yeah. By 1989, he had been granted so many patents, the US Patent Office had put him on a fast-track programme, reducing scrutiny on his applications to save resources.
Oh, it's him again.
Fucking hell.
What's he come up with this time?
Just stamp it and put it through, for fuck's sake.
It's going to be a load of bollocks anyway.
He'll never leave us alone. Just stamp it. Fuck him. He can have it. No other cunts inventing this shit.
And it works. He worked at the Mattel Foundation, a research organisation developing technology to benefit humanity, where most of his patents were created. But he was also involved in the Gemini spacecraft program in NASA, with one of his most significant concepts in aerospace technology being the energy feeding system on concept EBED, or EBED, part of the Star Wars project, which didn't work.
No.
To be fair, I found this and I was like, didn't hear that confirmed anywhere else.
Yeah.
I heard mostly he was like a scientician.
He reminds me slightly of, my mind's going blank, Bob Lazar.
Yes, he's been compared to Bob Lazar.
There's no official, he didn't have officially this degree or that degree, but he did invent a jet-powered car.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Amateur scientist, amateur inventor, a Doc Brown.
Mike Madman Markham.
No, don't put Bob Lazar in here. Isn't he the guy who hit the ground in the rocket?
No, he's the guy in the time machine.
Shit! Yeah, of course. Yes, sorry. I was thinking of the flat Earth guy who.
He was Mad Mike as well, but yeah.
Yeah, he built a rocket and then died.
He was Mad Mike, and it was Mike Madman.
Right,
Markham.
that's it.
That's how you differentiate the two, where the madman is placed in their name.
Listen to our previous episodes, both fucking fascinating and hilarious stories. If you're new to us.
By far, his most revolutionary concept was to develop an engine that would allow a vehicle to travel for 180 kilometres, powered nothing more than by 4 litres of water.
It would be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah. I remember there's a quote from him saying you can get from New York to Los Angeles on like 8 pints or something like that. Could be 8 litres.
It's a lot more than 180 kilometres.
Could be 8 litres. I don't know. Whatever the Americans are using.
But still, the point is, it's powered by water. A combustion engine powered by water.
Yeah, and it was a dream that began around 1975 when the effects of the Middle East embargo sent oil prices skyrocketing and fueled economic turmoil across the US, which it did. Everyone's got them big, 8-litre cars.
Yeah, everything's massive over there.
Well, we're looking at a picture of the patent or the concept behind the water-powered fuel cell. It makes no sense to me.
Nope.
No, me neither.
And the fact that we are looking at the patent and that no one has been able to recreate the desired effect using it would suggest that Mr. Meyer might have been telling a few porkies.
But this is why I got confused trying to research this earlier, because I watched one video that just completely debunked it and was like, this is high school level science. And then, okay, and then the next video was like, oh, Toyota are developing one, and it's like,
well, Toyota are developing a hydrogen slush thing, aren't they?
right.
This is saying, but that requires the water being taken out of the hydrogen.
Right.
Or most of the water. This is saying it's just water.
Pure water.
Pure water.
Well, water is hydrogen.
Yes,
Hydrogen,
but
oxygen.
you've got to take the oxygen out
I did
Right.
see a
in the
clip
Toyota model.
of Elon
And this one,
Musk's.
isn't
I saw Elon Musk saying that powering things by hydrogen is one of the dumbest things he's ever heard in terms of efficiency.
Well, he would say that. He owns an
Well,
electric
yes,
car
that's
company.
true, but his point was like you need giant tanks and things to store the...
It's very combustive, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, before long, Meyer had come up with a concept for a fuel cell designed to run solely on water that worked by splitting its atoms into their most basic forms. 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom, thus the chemical name H2O. The hydrogen was then burned to create energy, while the oxygen, remaining water, would be expelled to the exhaust, which wouldn't emit any harmful emissions compared to gasoline or petrol, if you're from the UK, powered cars.
I guess it makes sense, doesn't it? Hydrogen burns. You take hydrogen out of the water, the H2O, leaving you only oxygen left.
True. From what I can gather, his concept was you just put water in. The engine that Toyota are developing is a slush.
Right, what's that mean?
Like a slush puppy. You know, the consistency of a slush puppy.
Right.
It just...
It's
It's
got
like
a hydrogen slush.
you're
What's
still
the difference?
using fuel.
He's just saying just tip any old water in and
'Cause
it'll work.
Because I saw some scientists saying today that like he accepts that this could give you 20% more efficiency if you're adding it to the fuel. Like you're still using fuel, but 20% of it is the water. So I'm a simpleton in this, but he's not. He's saying that it's not possible to run it fully on just water. That's what the one guy I saw today said.
Well, the June buggy he had, have you seen it?
I did read about it, but that's the one in the image. Yeah.
Bright orange. June blue, in my opinion, if it was powered by water. For a start, it had Jesus Christ is Lord written on the side, which
Why wouldn't it?
kind of put me off a little bit.
Why would that put you off? He is our Lord and Saviour. God bless
Well,
you, Jesus
because I think
Christ,
that-
our man.
I think that people who believe in religion aren't mentally stable.
Well, I agree, because based on present company, but I think you need to let the light of Jesus into your life, Ben.
I don't think I do.
Well,
I think I'm doing just fine without it,
I
thank
think
you.
you could be doing better
I don't.
with him.
No.
Your own personal Jesus.
Yeah.
God
Maybe this
love him.
car ran on Jesus' love.
It ran on the tears of Jesus.
Is that water or wine?
Depends what mood he's in.
So if you make him cry with laughter, you just hold your cup under
Yeah,
his cheeks.
he's just crying wine. Oh, God.
I'm so good without him.
Well, think about it though. If you're ever really desperate for a drink and you're on your own and all the shops are shut and your skin, you could just like punch yourself in the bollocks, or think about your first pet that died, and just start crying and
Collect it, yeah.
collect your
And
wine
then just
tears.
wave your hand over it and boom, wine.
Boom. No, I'm thinking he cries actual wine.
I only think he does that if he cries with laughter.
Okay, well, you tell
He's
him
doing sad crying, his biggest water.
tell him a hilarious joke. Right, Jesus walks into a hotel, puts 2 nails on the bar and says, "Can you put me up for the night?" Come on, Jesus, that's fucking funny.
3, I think it was.
Ah.
You go to his feet too.
Oh yeah, okay, 1 nail through both feet. Anyway,
Big ass fucking nails, isn't
respect to Jesus, respect our Lord and Saviour.
he? Yeah, I'd rather not.
He died for your sins.
Well, he didn't have to.
More fool him. Apologies to the American listeners.
If you're that way inclined. After a few months of development, Meyer built a dune buggy, which I love. I love the fact he built a dune buggy.
Yeah, man.
Powered by his revolutionary engine, which he claimed required less energy to perform electrolysis than the minimum amount predicted by conventional science. The buggy was painted with the words "water-powered car" and a call to Meyer's Christian faith, And in my experience, every hardcore Christian is nothing but a grifter.
What did he have? Did he have a fish? You know, the Christians like to put a fish on the back
they do,
of the
but
car.
he had Jesus Christ as Lord.
Well, he is.
It is.
Look at that bad boy. I trust it. Powered by water and Jesus. Come on then. Boot it. Mom!
But we're going, we don't need Jesus. He took the vehicle on a cross-country tour, going from college to college, demonstrating the technology and looking for professors willing to validate his achievements. And many, maybe, respected physicists signed off on the fuel cell's legitimacy. But what were they signing off on?
It worked, I imagine.
Were they signing off on what he showed them or what he claimed? He strikes me as a bit of a Death Ray Matthews. And the fact that there's no footage left of him using this.
But it was the early days.
And that he was always like, oh, I don't want to show you. Just take my word for it.
Look, if you invented something that could potentially change the world and financially, make you the most powerful man on the earth, you might not be that willing to just show it to any. Show me how it works, then, bud.
Well, you're showing it to professors.
Yeah, but this is America, Ben. A professor can still be. Well, show me how it works, bud.
Well, to be fair, George Adamski was a professor, wasn't he?
There you go.
What if I start calling myself the professor? People start doing it. People start copying it.
I think a better nickname would be the chairman.
Ooh.
As in Chairman Mao.
I'm not a communist, guys. Give me some credit.
I can't remember who it was, but some famous
As long as you don't start calling me the
person.
Führer.
Oh, I don't know who it was, but somebody famous had a cat and they called him Chairman Meow.
Yeah.
Oh, who was that? Oh, he'll come back.
Mike, are you suggesting I look like a young Mussolini?
I haven't exactly suggested that.
At least you made the trains run on time.
What else, Duce? Get on with it.
Funny enough, when I was in Milan, I've been to the spot where Mussolini was.
Oh, have you?
Strung up by his ankles.
There's nothing there to like.
No.
It's just a normal street corner now.
There's a petrol station.
It was just a bog stand, and you wouldn't know it going there. But yeah, I made a point. I wanted to. My friend over there thought I was weird, but I was like, "Are you mad? Like
history was made
like,
here.
You fucking hung a very famous cunt right here
with his mistress."
Yeah, well, fuck
after the Germans had literally done a helicopter-borne assault, the first helicopters. The Germans did a helicopter-borne assault onto this mountain palace / prison where Mussolini was being held. Did a commando raid, got him out, evacuated him out of Italy, and then he went back and got fucking strung up.
In the middle of Milan, at a petrol station.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you play silly games, Ben, you win silly prizes.
Yeah, but the bloke who led the German assault was called Otto Scorsese, which is one of the coolest names ever.
That's a bit of an Italian name, isn't it?
No, he had a fucking scar down his eye and an eye patch and everything. He's called Otto.
No, he was one of those Nazis that did the.
I was going to say, didn't they do the dueling? They wanted the scars, didn't they?
But he was like, had a scar like temple to cheek and had an eye patch and everything. He was that good, the Israelis recruited him to train their first commandos. That's how good he was.
So technically, do we have him to thank for World War III?
Maybe, yeah. Possibly.
It takes him going there, doesn't it? He must be good if the Jews are recruiting a Nazi.
Well, he was in the SS, but I mean...
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You may have been involved in killing
I don't think he
thousands of our own, but you know...
He was more of a... He just did the commando stuff. So he wasn't like Death Camp SS.
He's one of the good ones, was he, Ben?
No, he wasn't one of the good ones. He was a terrible person. But he was like kind of the Nazi SAS, if that makes sense. He trained those dudes. So he wasn't doing the Death Camp. Either way, they recruited him to train their special forces.
I suppose he couldn't have been an anti-Semite, could he?
Well, I suppose it also depends on who's paying him, Mike. That's the way you got to look at it.
I'm anti anything if you pay me enough.
Exactly. Yeah. So back to Stanley. Those who saw the car were genuinely amazed at how innovative and revolutionary the concept was. Most agreeing it turned water into hydrogen fuel through electrolysis. Although both hydrogen-powered engines and devices capable of breaking down water molecules into their constituent parts had been around for decades before Meyer's fuel cell entered the scene. His technology was revolutionary because it combined them to produce an incredibly cheap and effective source of power. But, here's the but, soon legal issues began to develop, with allegations from lawyers that the water-powered car was fraudulent and illegitimate, so I didn't know its dad.
Bastard.
And in 1996, Meyer was sued by two investors who had bought dealerships which granted them the right to do business in water fuel cell technology. As part of the suit,
He's blagged them to the point where they're willing to, like, we're going to set up dealerships selling these bad boys.
Yep, get yourself a water-powered dune buggy, we'll set up dealerships.
Here's the money, right, can we have the patent to start making them? No, you cannot.
No, because maybe it doesn't work.
Because maybe it doesn't exist.
As part of the suit, the fuel cell was scheduled for examination by expert witness Michael Lawton, Professor of Electrical Engineering at Queen Mary University of London and a Fellow of the Royal Academy of Engineering. So I think we can say he's pretty qualified. You know.
More qualified than us.
Well, I think he's one of the most qualified people on the planet.
Yeah.
If he's at a University of London and a Royal Academy of Engineering professor.
Yeah, but he could still be a bit shit. He could have scraped through to get that job. He
I
knows more than us.
Yeah,
obviously.
But I suppose you've also got to look at, is it possible that, allegedly Michael Lawton, Professor Michael Lawton, might have been on the payroll of Big Oil?
And he didn't want to end up dead, did he?
No, but...
It's moot anyway, because he never got to look at it.
No, he did not. Meyer was alleged to have refused to submit it to the Fayette County judge for inspection.
Which I would have done too if it was real.
Oh, yeah.
In all honesty, is there a... This is a point I've been wanting to make, like, about this. Is there a bigger industry, or maybe the industrial military complex, possibly, but is there a bigger industry than oil on the planet?
No.
Because it affects everything, doesn't it?
God, yeah.
If you cripple and destroy that industry...
Our way of life goes out.
Everything's gone to... Literally the entire makeup of our society is turned on its head and fucked.
The threads of our society, one might say,
will unravel. He's picking at a thread that if you pull it, the entire jumper falls apart. So...
But that's just the way things have always been like that. When the first car was invented, people were like, what's going to happen with the horse and buggy industry?
My only counter to that would be, Mike, at that time, there wasn't some giant, globally powerful horse and car industry, right. Was there?
There wasn't big horse and car.
That can literally kill people when they decide to, can influence governments, wars.
If there was big horse and cart, then my family would probably be rulers of the world at this point.
There we go.
In all fairness, can't make car. Simple as horse and cart.
I know where the name.
Just think.
Well, your industry was shattered by science,
and that's why we're working class now
and progress. But my point is, so if this was real, because it's very, you could very easily look at this and go, it's quite obvious this man is a fucking charlatan who built something that was good enough to confuse and blag intelligent people that it's running purely on water. He's obviously clever in that respect and a top level blagger. But if it was real,
that's a big if, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
But but my point is, if it was, there's no way the oil industry is going to allow this man to.
No,
of course not. And
think how much the oil industry gives to the automotive industry every year to keep producing petrol engines. If this technology was about in 1979, right, there's an oil embargo, prices are going to the roof, they're literally dictating their terms to the world. You want petrol, you want oil? Yeah. Go on then, what are you going to give us?
The entire geopolitical system is based upon who has the oil.
The whole US dollar.
Everything. The
petrodollar,
which rules the entire planet.
Allegedly why they got rid of Gaddafi and Saddam.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to stop selling the oil in different currency.
Every war in the Middle East.
Since
the heroin or oil.
Every war since 1945 has been over drugs or oil, hasn't it? And mineral resource, obviously.
Yeah.
However, After it had been examined later by 3 experts at court, the court found that there was nothing revolutionary about the cell at all, and it was simply using conventional electrolysis. So stick 2 live wires in some water, either side the water, it'll light a light bulb up. Well, one side of the water. Water conducts electricity, doesn't it?
But was that power
That's
in the
not
car?
electrolysis, though, is it? Electrolysis is splitting water, isn't it?
Because it's like it's like my science is so stupid because you've got like water, haven't you? Then you've got deionized water, which you put in batteries and stuff.
Yeah.
But you probably have to top
Yeah,
the
top my
forklift.
forklift battery up, yeah.
What's that then? Because that's something to do with electrics, isn't it? It's been deionized. It's been has it been through electrolysis? Has turned it into deionized. See, this is where we're failing here. Is like, apologies to the listener. I am a monk, but we never claim to not be monks, do we?
We're too thick to understand.
Yeah, we just. It's a good story.
If he was using conventional electrolysis, so he's using water to pass an electric current,
Right.
then basically this is just high school grade science. But he's saying that if you put this water in, then this fuel cell will propel this dune buggy, potentially one day, from New York to California on like 8 pints of water. That's a bold claim to make.
Yeah.
And conventional electrolysis is literally just passing current through.
But does that create
water.
like bubbles and energy?
Yeah, it creates a chemical reaction
Right.
Yeah.
that then can be used.
Because that energy. Because on the debunking one that I watched, it said that. Because I knew this when he said it. I was like, oh, even I know that. Is that energy never just disappears, does it?
No.
Energy either moves
To different states.
different states, but it never just
Yeah.
disappears. Like
No,
Energy can't be created out of nothing or destroyed, can it?
Yeah. And that's what the debunking one was basically saying. I was like, oh, but I don't understand the non-debunking one, so I'm fucked from the start.
Well, the court ordered Meyer to refund the 2 investors their $25,000 payments.
That's not a good sign, is it?
No. But Meyer and his brother believed it was all part of a conspiracy to keep the technology under wraps because the fuel cell, if legitimate, could destroy the oil industry, which we've alluded to.
Because the thing is, it's not unrealistic to think that any court in the US would just make the decision it wants to make based rather than the truth.
Yeah.
Because they do that all the time.
Obviously.
You know they do. So, if somebody was leaning on the judge...
Big oil?
Because big oil is more powerful than any politician.
Well, I think most politicians sit on the table of big oil, don't they?
Yeah.
Somewhere on the line.
I have to. Like we said, it's got to be the biggest industry. It's got to be.
It's that and pharma, isn't it? It's between the two. In terms of
Oh, yeah. Of course,
money-wise, big pharma and big oil, they've got to be fairly close, haven't they?
But I think we don't have wars based on the farmer dollar,
No,
do
we don't. No, we don't. No, that's true. But they invest them, and what the thing is, Gaz, I mean, we know that BlackRock owns it all. Big oil, big pharma, BlackRock sat somewhere in that shareholders
follow it back
system.
enough. It's like, we say that there's only a certain amount of companies. It's just a small, silly example, but I was laughing to myself in traffic the other day. I was behind an Argos van, right?
Right.
And it said, new drivers wanted. Apply at Sainsbury's.com/jobs. What? Like, what the fuck? Like, everyone's owned by, and you follow it back enough like Russian dolls.
Yeah.
There's only like 5 fucking corporations.
Is it 7 or 8, Mike?
Something like that, yeah.
Oh, it's
And
mental.
then BlackRock haven't just...
BlackRock's in
But
all of them,
BlackRock,
probably.
They're in every single fucking one.
Oh, why isn't
They
that
always,
talked about more?
they own a stake in fucking everything. They don't own a controlling stake,
Yeah,
but they own a
have a
fucking good chunk
Enough
of a stake.
to have a voice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For fuck's sake, they're even in Games Workshop. The people who make the Space Marine game, which is meant to be awesome.
So even the friendly, unfucking opposing nerds who are no problem to anyone.
No, your 40k fans,
Yeah.
they're still
The
giving
sweetest, most like non-offensive people on earth.
money. Oh no, there's some offensive people. in
But
there.
you don't. In general, they're
Yeah,
they're the quietest.
They
like,
paint models and have
yes,
war games.
Exactly.
You know,
They're no threat to no one, but
No.
even they.
even they are giving money to BlackRock.
Our beloved PlayStation. I'm sure if you track it back further enough, Sony's going to be connected to Black.
I'm sure that
they have
Sony,
to be.
some stake of Sony, it might only be 3%, it might be 12%. You know, it might be something insignificant.
Yeah.
But I bet they've got a fucking share in there or two.
Oh, yeah. How did one company get that? We've got to do BlackRock, haven't we?
I know, but I'm just frightened of getting assassinated.
I'll give you the 5 biggest industries.
Oh, come on then.
Number 1, financial services.
Oh, fuck, we didn't think of that, did we?
worth
Is this in
$2
terms of money?
Market value, yeah.
Right, okay.
$22.5 trillion. Number 2 is construction.
Oh,
Makes sense, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah,
$12.5 trillion.
Yeah.
which BlackRock is definitely in.
Definitely in.
3rd is real estate.
Wow, we were well off.
9.6 trillion. 4 is e-commerce. 9 trillion.
That's just buying shit online. Oh, by the way, I'll tell you in a second. Mike, what's the next one?
Life and health insurance, apparently.
Where does oil come?
I know, yeah. Some insider monkey article.
I suppose then, right, okay. Based on that, so say oil isn't the most in terms of actual dollar value, but in terms of what it means for your life, it's why we go to war over it. Our entire our entire society is powered on it, isn't it?
Yes.
Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say? Like,
well, look, you know when they had the Just Stop Oil people. Did you ever see the video of that bloke going, "Well done, everything you're wearing
literally
is made of oil. It's
your
comes
little
from oil.
flag that you're holding, everything.
It's a plastic flag, therefore it's got oil in it.
It doesn't have to be plastic.
Everything you're wearing, your waterproofs, have got oil in them.
Yeah, that's the irony of. Don't get me
Oil
started.
and gas is number 8, apparently.
Wow. Okay.
I thought it'd be more than that as well.
But the thing is, they
60
unlike any of those other organisations, oil and gas is a finite resource.
That's why we're fighting over
That's
it.
why
isn't it?
we need to put our pieces on the board to be nice and around the resources. Financial services, we create that. That's not a resource, we create it. There doesn't have to be a financial services
No, I
thing.
agree.
We make it. But oil and gas, they're going to run out one day. And I remember being told in school that it should be gone by now. But I also heard something.
There's
on
other
a
people that
podcast
say
that
it's plentiful.
Another 47 years. But then
I
what
think
they
we've reached peak oil, haven't we?
well, what they do is if they find a huge oil field, they go, "All right, put a flag in it." We'll come back to that.
Yeah.
Because when they declare it, they start paying tax on it.
Right.
But if they don't declare it, and they move all the stuff in and go, "Oh yeah, we're prospecting here. We're looking for oil. We think there's going to be oil." They don't pay tax on it until oil is found.
Yeah.
So, like the Falkland Islands, for example.
Was there oil there? Was
Oh, there's shit tons of natural gas down
That's
there.
weird.
Yeah, shit tons of it.
It's funny. Is there oil in Iraq as well?
Iraq was the world's 4th largest oil producer before the Iraq War.
Is there oil in Afghanistan?
There was $1 trillion mountain full of minerals.
Yeah.
That's
All the stuff you
strange,
need to
isn't
make your iPhone.
Now, I'm not autistic, but I can see
And the
a
poppy
pattern.
fields.
Oh, yeah, the opium.
And the
Don't
poppy
underestimate the opium because the pharmaceutical, like you said, do not underestimate.
And
They literally went to war, mate, over fucking dope.
Well, let's not forget there is a massive opioid epidemic in the American state.
Yeah.
So what we're led to believe in the news
Well,
and
it's
Twitter
true. It's definitely true.
and you know what? I've noticed the NHS has started giving out opioids a bit more often.
Well, they probably bought a fucking shitload that they'd look because they're trying to clamp down on it in the States, aren't they? So there's probably a fucking few container ships.
Yeah, they dished me cocodamol out back earlier this year. Just like it was fucking candy, to be fair.
Ah, sweet, sweet candy.
I've not noticed anything.
Not strong enough.
You see, I've taken, like, it says take 2. Okay, take 2. I get a bit of a full body buzz on. If I've taken them
You've
at
got
night.
to think that, Ben, that is the medical version that's not supposed to give you a body buzz.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? But you give it to somebody who's never drank, never done nothing in their life, and all of a sudden, I feel nice all of a sudden. I've got a good friend, working class as fuck, but he climbed up the ladder and he's in education, he's doing very well for himself. He got genuinely addicted to codeine because they just kept giving it to him. Then he learned that he could just blag him. Even then the doctor was like, I probably shouldn't, but he could blag him. And he was fucking addicted. He's taking him in the morning to feels honestly, it was just it really it got hold of him, and they just kept.
I suppose I'm looking at I don't take them that often because I was giving them for like severe pain at one point. I was a bit injured, and I just stopped taking them when I got better.
Yeah.
But I noticed it the other morning when I woke up. I was like, fuck, my ankle's seized up. As it happens to do now and again. I'll go and take some painkillers. I've only got the cocodamol. And yeah, okay, it was 3 in the morning. I was tired, but I did get a buzz on. And I think, well, if I started taking 2 of them every 4 to 6 hours, it would be quite nice.
Definitely. See, and the thing with the epidemic in America is it's hit the middle class. It's not low class people that are like wanting drugs. It's people that like you said, they broke their ankle. They went to the doctor. He gave them that. Then kept giving them that. And then oh, you can't have any more. Well, I'm addicted now, and they end up going and buying
They lied,
street heroin.
Yeah.
They lied and said it wasn't addictive.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Opioids have been known to be notoriously addictive since they were kind of discovered by man, haven't they? I mean, look at opium dens. You had opium dens in London.
I'm on about specifically fentanyl.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah, okay.
The thing with that opium, Ben, Mike, it's very Moorish.
Oh, yeah.
Go on, Gaz, give us your drug-addled lunatic experience.
Oh, I tried heroin once, and it wasn't.
Smoke it or inject it?
I smoked. What happened was I was living where I was living, and somebody came round, and they were older than me, and we're doing the chase the dragon thing where they basically put the powder heroin on a foil, make a little tube, and they burn it underneath, and that. And the guy started it, he did one thing, and then we got disturbed. Somebody came and he went, shit, and he shoved it in this drawer. And it was weeks later, I was lying on the sofa, and I looked at the drawer, and I was like, oh, fuck, I remembered. And I opened the drawer, and I was like, shit, I wonder. And I burnt it. He'd already done it once, but I burnt it again, and like copied what I'd seen. And the way I can describe it, for me, this is just my personal, I felt that like the centre of you right here in your solar plexus, I felt as if I was going whoop into like
expanding
it, like just up. I felt like I was going high in my brain and down as well. It was hard to explain, but like the highest thing I've ever felt. Leaned back on the sofa and was just like, holy fuck, this is because everything is sort of compared to weed. I know that sounds daft, but like weed makes you high, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And we smoke weed a lot.
Some of us.
Yeah. So it's like weed times 1,000. Just like, you know, when you have a hit and you feel that highness, like just, and that's just me doing a second-hand bullshit bit that had just been in the drawer for weeks. Like, it wasn't the full hit. I know it wasn't, because I've been told most people when they do heroin for the first time, like, instantly throw their guts up because it's just too much. But it's so lovely. It takes, if you think about it, the painkiller that it's prescribed for, everything, it just takes, whatever effect it has on the brain, it takes all that away. And I remember thinking,
like a numbness, is it?
It's hard to explain. It's just like the highest high that I've ever, like, but also down at the same time. Also, like, my body was heavy, like sinking into the sofa, like, and that's off this bullshit second-hand thing that had already been smoked once and left in the drawer. And I remember sitting there though and thinking, holy fuck, I can see why this gets people. But the key part of the story is it was just that one little cure my curiosity, add a little play. All right, that's it. No interest to ever go back because I could just see there and then I was like, I see why this ends lives. Because fuck, that felt good.
Wow.
Yeah, that's my only heroin experience. So there you go, listener. Don't judge me.
Don't do heroin, kids.
No, don't. Ever. Or opiates, just because it comes in a packaged fucking
That's
branded
the original point.
The trouble isn't the heroin. What it is your body gets used to it, and then you get
you've got to
more
keep
and more
chasing.
to get that high again.
Yeah.
We're the same with
Until
weed.
you get to a point where you've overdosed and it kills you.
Yeah, and you can't see first chasing that high. But it's like that with every, like, cause I've cut down loads on my alcohol. Like tonight, I've had a few, but fucking hell, I'm flying.
Tolerance levels.
Yeah, everything, it's all, you know, and you give them opiates to someone who's not used to drugs, who hasn't done, like, recreational, and then it's going to, like, because I reckon my mum's pretty addicted to her painkillers without her knowing. Do you know what I mean? Like, because she's been on them for that long.
Yeah.
But how did we get onto heroin?
I don't know. Oh, we were a big farmer.
The biggest
oil and
industries.
gas.
Yeah. It's all dirty shit, isn't it?
Oh, God.
And like you said though, but the head of the board on the big pharma company is going to be involved in the board of the
Oh, there's
fucking
BlackRock or
thing.
something
Yeah,
like that. Yeah.
it's all just these fucking 1% bastards, isn't it?
Well, Meyer and his brother believe it's all part of a conspiracy to keep the technology under wraps because the fuel cell, if legitimate, could destroy the oil industry. Meyer believed efforts to dismiss the device were funded by the oil industry and perhaps even the United States government. Claiming he had been threatened on numerous occasions by representatives from companies all over the world, he also claimed he'd been offered vast sums of money to hide all evidence of his technology, but he refused.
Because he's proper. He's an inventor.
Meyer's brother definitely suspected foul play and claimed the June buggy and all his brother's experimental equipment were stolen a week after his death, although the buggy is believed to have been located again soon afterwards, but the circumstances and its condition do remain unclear.
Yeah, like where did the buggy go?
Well, it ended up in Canada, in the possession of the Holbrook family, believed to be former associates of the inventor, but no further information has surfaced since. Most of Meyer's patents have now expired, with his inventions being in the public domain and available for all to use without restriction or royalty payment. Although no one has since unveiled a water-powered engine, Meyer's work does live on, with car makers such as Toyota and Honda developing models powered by hydrogen fuel cells, drawing on his research, while electric vehicles, which Meyer's June buggy would have been classified as, now represent the way forward in automotive technology due to government regulation and financial incentives. So again,
it could have been bang on then.
Let's-
Maybe it was stolen.
let's not forget, let's just circle back a second. The only reason the automotive industry stays alive is because of the massive subsidies paid by oil companies. The amount of car companies that have nearly gone out of business, and then all of a sudden, some company comes along, has a massive investment of capital. Look at the British car industry. It wasn't
Which
great.
one? We used to have one.
We
made notoriously shit cars.
We made
Leyland.
We made notoriously
Rover.
shit cars. But point is, someone, BMW, who are very successful,
Bought
but
them
somehow
out.
got together enough money to buy out a massive car making conglomerate in the UK.
Happens all the time, Ben.
It does, but they got that investment of capital to do it,
It's a
didn't they?
massive company.
Because the big oil
Did
pay
they?
them.
You know that?
I
You have evidence of that?
I have no evidence, but the big oil pays the car
So-
industry a lot of money every year.
Well, if you think about it, Mike, I suppose it makes sense, because if you're the oil industry and the car companies are going out of business, you're fucked, aren't you? You need them. There's no cars to put your oil in,
True.
Do you
but
see
it
what
isn't
I'm
the
saying?
only-
Sorry, guys.
like subsidies with the oil, like the
Right,
reason why
yeah.
in their interest to keep a car company that's about to go under
Maybe, yeah.
going is because if there's less cars, we've got less.
Isn't the only thing that oil's used for, though, is it? You know.
No, but I wonder if it's got to be the main. Do you think it's the main thing, or is it plastics? And like,
Plastics is going up there. It's got to be.
but you think how many fucking cars there is?
Yeah, but they've all got plastic in them too.
Yes, this is true. I don't know. We don't know, do we? But
That's my point. Ben was saying it's like a fact. I don't know.
I do think it's factual that like our car industry has died. Like, but my brother works for Jaguar up at
That's meant to
Junction
be
10.
not doing so well though.
Well, this is the thing, like, they're one of the few left, aren't they? But they're owned by. It's like these smaller companies start to go under, and the bigger car companies just swallow them up, and
Happens in every industry,
so the
doesn't it?
plant doesn't get
What
wasted.
we're saying about the food industry is like 6 companies that produce all the food now.
Yeah.
They bought everybody else up. The
No, the
technology
vet-
companies, it's only Microsoft or Apple.
But
Slightly different. You know, the vets in this country, there's only 6 companies that own all the veterinary
believe it.
surgery. Yeah, it's crazy. Every little, what you think is like
Yeah.
Uncle Tom's veterinary, he ain't, he's...
yeah, they got the drugs and The way they keep going is by selling drugs.
Expensive now.
Oh, it's off the
Oh,
chain, mate.
65 quid to see Chester.
Sarah's having an argument
Sold for 5 minutes.
at the moment. They sold her something that was £70. I can't remember what it was. It's for the new little tiny puppy. Anyway, a supplement or something. It was 70 quid. Then she went home and went online and could get it for like 12 quid.
Yeah. Yeah, because everyone, or most people, have pet insurance nowadays.
Yeah.
And so it just gets, oh, I've got a cheap excess. But the next year, that insurance price goes up a bit, doesn't it?
Well, it's like my
Yeah,
pets,
money back.
because of the age of my cat, you'd probably find the same with Chester. Because of her age, no matter how good my insurance is, I still have to, they will only pay up to 80% of a claim. I've still got to add the 20% in.
Yeah.
Because they're like, well, fuck you, she's old. She's going to cost a lot.
Harry's been on the same insurance for years, so I don't know.
What did they say about Chester Mike? He was the best cat they'd ever seen for his age.
Yep.
Yeah, look at him. He's a magnificent bastard. Look at him.
17.
We're talking about the show Cat, sorry. How old, Mike? Sorry.
17 now.
17. This cat's had more life than most of you listening.
He's got a better social life than me, I know that much.
He's magnificent. But yeah, so the fuel...
bastard.
So this is what's confusing about this, is so that there was some truth to what he was proposing. Whether he actually made it or not, whether his car worked or not,
Yeah.
there's
But
truth to
then
the...
here it says, like, you know, Toyota stole his research, but then if you go further, what we talked about before, the experts found out that it was just nothing more than electrolysis. It was just simple electrolysis.
High school science.
Yeah, so there's not really a lot to steal, is there? So,
No, and the fact that his patents are released,
and no one else has come up with it.
no one's recreated
Yeah, if it was that good.
the plans he made.
But did anyone else come up with the EMC squared? E equals MC
As we
squared.
check though,
no,
didn't it?
because one person came up with it first, and
But if he hadn't have, would have anyone else?
that's a good question.
Yeah,
You know?
true. But
I'm just saying...
they've been able to make.
Do I fuck us like? Do I fuck?
But they've been able to make the theory of relativity work numerous times that we know of, because Einstein might be wrong and faster light travel might be possible.
It's energy equals mass times the speed of light squared, by the way.
Yeah, simple.
Yeah, easy. Work that out in at least half an hour.
Yeah, it's easy. Got the mass of something, times it by speed of light squared, and you got the energy.
Again,
Do you remember
Well,
the
you
film
need
Young
half an hour.
Einstein?
no.
Was there a film?
He was an Australian guy.
You what?
Einstein was this... Oh, fuck.
Australian guy.
Yeah, honestly, right. Carry on. I'm going to have to...
I've never heard of that.
Oh, he's like an Australian guy with like an orange afro.
Okay.
1988 film. Yeah, Young Einstein. You never saw that?
Oh, I've never seen it now, but I've heard of it.
Remember that? Does that ring a bell?
No.
I don't remember the plot, but like, he's Einstein, he invents... Oh, fuck. I might have to watch that.
Well, Einstein did all his best work as a patent clerk, allegedly.
What does Rimmer say? Was Einstein a patent clerk or the world's greatest scientist?
He was a patent clerk.
You are your job.
I personally think that this chap is a bit of a grifter. I know it's rare for me to come down the side of the non-conspiracy, but the lawsuits, the fact that he apparently never really satisfactorily demonstrated it, and then the patents that are there, they say, oh, you know, we tried to recreate it, it doesn't work. But then I also get that, hey, this guy could have had this technology, could have figured it out, and we want him gone. I get it. I fully get it. We've talked about it all episode, big oil. I fully get that. I think this guy... I don't know, Toyota and Honda, two of the biggest motoring corporations in the world, own... Your little Kia's what he owned by one of them, Gaz.
No, it's owned by Kim Jong,
It's not. That's North Korea.
my hero.
Kim Jong-un's your hero.
He made a fucking very nice economical little car.
That wasn't North Korea.
Ah, north, south.
Either
Wales,
way.
Scotland. Ah.
Well, okay. Either way, I get it. I get why they'd want to kill him. But I do think this guy is a bit of a Harry Death Ray Matthews kind of guy.
Yeah.
I think he's like, hey, I've got this. Can I see it work? No, you can't.
I agree with you, to be honest. It's definite, like, looks a bit charlatan-y, doesn't it? I agree with you, Ben. There's definite, obvious, like, hey, look, this guy's just blagging everyone. He blagged some money off some investors. He couldn't produce the goods. He went to court. A court of law decided you're a charlatan. But if it was real, I believe this is what would have happened. I believe he would have been protective of it and paranoid to fuck, and they would have killed him.
But he can't be that paranoid because he's taking it around universities.
But he's not actually giving them the... He's going, look, it works. Or how?
Yeah, I know.
I'm not going to tell you.
But if
apparently you got some physicists to sign off on it, so they must have had a look at it.
Did they see it move? And he's gone, hey, this is water powered, and showed them this and gone, hey, look at that. And then secretly he's got an electric motor behind it.
I think they would have noticed.
Who's to say?
If you're a physicist, you don't notice an electric motor.
Yeah, behind it, hidden somewhere in it. And it's just got this water tank and some wires in it.
Because I saw a guy saying on one video I watched it, he's followed his pattern and he's made it very... Oh, shit, I should have wrote down the bloke's fucking name. But if you Google this subject, he will come up on YouTube, and that, dear listener, that he said he has made this work but not fully. You can't... He's made it available to download how to build this little thing that you fit to your car that will make your car run 20% on pure hydrogen water thingy, but the rest will be the normal fuel, but it's at least using 20% less. But he couldn't figure out how to make it go 100%. But then he's not Toyota, is he? He's like...
But Meyer claimed that it was effectively a perpetual motion machine. You're getting it more than you put in.
Yeah,
that's what he effectively
physics
claimed.
say is impossible, doesn't it?
You know, 8 litres of water, 8 pints of water, and you drive from New York to California. That's perpetual motion, and we all know that doesn't work.
No,
well, it can work.
Hang on, I saw
but
a diagram.
Entropy's after a while, doesn't it? Like the swing, for example.
I saw a diagram, Ben, a very scientific diagram, and you're the science officer, Mike. If you get a piece of buttered toast and you butter it, and then sellotape it to your cat's back, right, and then chuck the cat in the air, it will just keep spinning forever.
Hey, that's science.
It is, because...
Cats around the back, bread lands bird side down.
So, there's your perpetual motion engine.
But then you'd have to have a cat.
No, don't. No, I knew, as soon as it just popped in my brain, no, we can't have cats in
some kind of
engines.
anti-gravity tunnel.
No, that's
with
no life.
bread strapped to its back for eternity.
That's no
or
life.
until it dies.
That's no life for a kitty. No,
It's
I don't want that.
No, I don't like that.
Keep destroying the planet with oil. Save the cats. Fuck those Afghans. Let's raise it to glass.
You're such a cat dad now. It's unreal.
I am such a cat dad, I'm willing to destroy other countries in the search for oil. To keep my cat safe.
And we all thought Stone Cold Steve Austin was the baddest cat dad.
I don't know if I've told you this, but the people who own the company I work for are in some mad religious... They're called the Christian Brotherhood. Ever heard of that?
Right, no.
Me neither. It's some mad offshoot of Christianity. They're fucking mad for it. That's what... We don't have radios in our vans. They don't agree with music. Apparently they didn't employ black people or unmarried people until the law stepped in and said, hello.
That's just a Mormonism.
Hello. No, it's close. It's close, but it's literally called the Christian Brotherhood. But anyway, my point
they
is...
don't believe in music.
No, so they...
Pure.
But do you know what all the drivers have done though in the van is like Googled how to just reattach the fuse, like...
Yeah.
And there are radios in the van, but I listen to podcasts in my headphones anyway. But point is, I had to use a van that belonged to one of the brothers. Like you've got like
there's no smoking in that van.
No, there wasn't. But you've got like the 4 like MD brothers who own the company. They work on the office side, and they've got one little fucked up like brother who works on the goods in, and I had to borrow his van. Anyway, there was a Bible in the van, and I had time to kill. Cover to cover, I flicked through that. I could not find Austin 3:16 in that Bible anywhere. Absolute fucking bullshit. It was John, there was
It was a
Luke.
long setup, but you got there, yeah.
John, Luke, fucking
That's
hell.
gone over Mike's head, probably,
Yeah,
a little bit.
that's a bit, yeah.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
What did you say?
Austin, you keep thumping your Bible with your psalms and your prayers, and it got you nowhere. Well, Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass.
That's it. And he came up with that on the fly.
On the fly, and a legend was born, and 2 million T-shirts were sold.
Yeah.
God love you, Stone Cold.
You know, after watching that Vincent Mann documentary, I do have a lot more respect for Stone Cold. But it offered me nothing new, you're right.
Do you know who we have to thank for Stone Cold's name? He was married to an English lady who spoke English, proper English. And she'd made him a coffee. And Americans don't use the term stone... So basically, she'd left him his drink on the side. And she was like, "Oh, Steve, you need to hurry up and drink now. It's going to be stone cold." Stone cold. Boom. And there it was.
Well,
it was born.
Did he beat her?
Yes, he did. But he paid the price legally, and we all forgave him because he's a massively successful, wonderful wrestler.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. And look.
And if
We don't know. Look.
And if I ever hear that crashing glass,
Yes.
and then as the intro, and then that music come, I'm going to still scream my head off.
And Ben, like Bill Burr says, ass kickings don't just drop out of the sky.
They don't.
What did she say? What did she say? It's true, that's what Bill Burr says. Not justifying nothing, but they don't just drop out the sky. And nobody ever talks about that bit. What evil shit did she say?
Well...
Anyway, back to the war-powered car. War-powered car. Love you, Stone Cold. That's the bottom line.
It shouldn't matter what she said as the answer.
You are right, Mike, yeah. You are absolutely right.
Technically. That's how are we going to bring this back to hydrogen-powered water engines?
Well,
come on, Maestro.
I've already said my piece. I think he's a grifter.
Mike hasn't. Mike, come on.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you guys. I just don't believe him.
Oh, it's the Jesus Christ is Lord written down the side that gives it away.
It's the fact that
It's clearly a grifter.
That's discrimination.
Experts had seen it, went to court, they found nothing. They had to repay the money. That major red flags for me.
High blood pressure because you're a blagger and you know that everything's coming down on you, and at any point you're going to get found out.
Everything's available now, and they can't, or no one's bothered to remake it because maybe it doesn't work.
Yeah,
I'm guessing. And the fact that Toyota and that have got these cars now, but more sophisticated.
And the fact the man's clearly overweight and in his 50s.
What's that got to do with it? Look,
Well, his blood pressure will be high.
Oh, okay, I see what you're saying. But like, little people have invented crazy breakthrough things, haven't they?
They have, totally. Fully agree. I love a shed inventor. The British Army Jackal was brought to the MOD with a Lego model, for fuck's sake, because this dude had made it in his shed and said, "This will protect people from explosives."
There you go. But
love it.
There's a lot going against him, isn't there? Bless him. But still, I can see why the conspiracy world has took this to their breast.
Their bosom, tender bosom.
Because it's perfect, isn't it? It's all set up.
Yeah.
Secret technology would have brought down the oil industry. He's dead.
Yeah.
They killed him. So yeah, I think we're all in agreement. It's probably bullshit, but if it wasn't, we can see why it would be true.
Yeah. That sums. We all agree with that?
Yeah.
My God, this is a rare occasion.
It is.
Well, I know you said that last week.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Becoming more common than you think.
Oh, we're all adopting each other's mentalities.
We're aligning. After like, how long's the pod been going? 8
years.
We're going to be a gestalt entity soon.
It's 8 years.
We are Legion.
Oh dear.
Boys from the Dwarf.
Boys from the Dwarf. Defo.
Whoa.
That bombshell.
Oh, that bombshell was. Not so much of a bombshell nowadays, is it? But still, I've been. Thank you for listening. Do as thou wilt. Remember that love is the law.
I've been Mike. Thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
I've been Gaz. Free Biff Tannen. Goodbye.